Hi boys and girls, I hope everything's going great. I noticed on Zern that some friends were still having trouble writing fractions on a number line. So I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do that, and then I'm going to show you a couple of problems. So the first thing we're going to do is make a number line. And we have to think about a couple questions before we get into it. First, how many fourths are in one whole? So if we think about that, in one whole, if we were to write that as a fraction, it would be 4 fourths. 4 fourths is equal to 1 whole. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to partition. And partition means to break apart the number line. Another question we need to think about is what happened to 0 on our new number line. So here is our number line, and here's how I partitioned it or broke it apart. I started with 1. And I ended here with 2. And then what I did was I broke this up into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts because there are 4 fourths. So I'm starting with 1, and 1 I know is equal to 4 fourths. Another way to describe that is to have equivalence. So that means that 4 fourths is at the same point on the number line as 1. It is equal. So now all I have to do is count on by 1 in the numerator. So 4 fourths, 5 fourths, 6 fourths, 7 fourths, and 8 fourths. I'll know that this is correct, and I can check my work by saying 8 divided by 4 gives me 2. The whole is 2. 8 fourths and 2 have equivalence, and 4 fourths and 1 have equivalence. Now let's take a look at a word problem. Freddie wants to buy a piano. The piano measures 19 fourths feet long. She has a space 5 feet long for the piano in her house. Does she have enough room? Draw a number line to show and explain your answer. So here's my number line, and this is what I drew. I have my number line here, and I'm starting at 4, and I'm ending at 5 feet. Now remember before I asked that question, what about 0? Well here, this arrow shows me that this can go on and on and on all the way to 0. So we don't have to put 0 if we're starting with a new whole number here. We can do that. That's legal. Okay, so now we're going to look here, and I started with 4, and so I know that 16 divided by 4 gives me 4, so that's my check. So I know I can start with 16 fourths. I know that 16 fourths is equivalent to 4, or equal to. They have equivalence. Then I'm going to count up. So I partitioned it into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces again. And I'm starting with 17 fourths, 18 fourths, 19 fourths, and 20 fourths. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 and 20 fourths have equivalence. They're equal to each other. So your answer is yes, Freddie does. She has 20 fourths or 5 feet of room, and the piano takes up 19 fourths. So she will have enough room. And now, we're going to look at one more question. Okay, here we go. This is also on Module 5, Lesson 18. Third grade students are growing peppers. The student with the longest pepper wins. Jackson's pepper measured 3 inches long. Drew's pepper measured 10 fourths inches long. Who won the award? So the first thing we need to do is draw a number line. Partition it off. Remember that's 0. It goes all the way here. You don't have to worry about 0. It's there. We just don't see it. That arrow shows us that that's true. So you need to also show fourths, particularly 10 fourths. You need to show 10 fourths. So here's what my number line will look like. So here I actually did mark 0 off, so you can do that there. And then I started with 1 inches, 2 inches, and 3 inches. Now I didn't partition it into 4 spaces. I need to put 4 spaces in between each whole number. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will actually partition it into 8 lines because I have whole numbers here. It's not just 1 and 2, it's 1, 2, and 3. So each section we'll partition it into 4 spots. So I'm going to start again with my fractions. And this time I'm going to label each part that I partitioned off. So make sure that you don't get sloppy with that and you measure off each part. So first I start off with 4/4. 4/4 is equal to 1 inch. And then I'm just going to start by just doing one more with each numerator. 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4. Let's do a check. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Is that equivalent? Yes. 9/4, 10/4, 11/4, 12/4. Is 12 divided by 4 equal to 3? Sure is. So, and going back to the question, 10/4 inch is less than 3 inches, or 3 inches is greater than 10/4 inch. So here is your answer to that question. Jackson won the award since 3 inches is greater than 10/4 inch. And there you have it, a little extra practice with number lines and fractions. I hope that helped.